The ship drifted silently in the amber glow of the alien system, its metal hull reflecting the twin suns of the planet below. Cale had never imagined that a routine diplomatic mission could lead him to a situation so unusual that it left him utterly speechless. He was a human ambassador, trained in negotiation, conflict resolution, and cultural etiquette, but nothing in his years of preparation could have predicted the challenge that awaited him on the surface. The landing platform opened, and he stepped onto a smooth, iridescent floor that seemed to shift in color beneath his feet. The air was warm, scented faintly of blooming alien flora, and resonant hums of life vibrated softly through the walls of the palace. He followed the attendants, beings tall and elegant with translucent skin that shimmered faintly in the light. They moved with grace, their gestures precise, speaking in melodic tones that Cale could only partially understand. At the heart of the palace, the alien queen waited. She was magnificent, a figure of authority and beauty beyond human measure. Her skin was a deep, luminous green, and her eyes glowed softly, reflecting intelligence and command. She wore a crown of crystalline filaments that seemed alive, pulsing with a rhythm that matched her heartbeat. But what caught Cale's attention most was the small creature she cradled in her arms, a baby, delicate and fragile, yet with eyes that shimmered like polished amber, curious and cautious at the same time. "You have come," the queen said in a voice that was firm yet tinged with weariness. Her tone carried the weight of responsibility, of countless decisions made for her people. "I am told that humans possess a unique talent for calming the young. If you can soothe my child, I will consider the bond between our species in a way no treaty ever could." Cale felt his stomach tighten. This was unlike anything he had ever encountered. He had studied alien behavior, their psychology, their culture, yet the idea of being asked to pacify a sovereign ruler's infant was unexpected. I will do my best," he said carefully, bowing slightly. The queen extended the child toward him. The infant's tiny fingers curled around the air, reaching instinctively, and Cale's heart went out to it. There was something universal in the need for comfort, a bridge between species that no law or custom could define. He knelt slowly, letting his hands hover just above the child, feeling its faint warmth through the alien robes. At first, the baby stiffened, emitting a series of high-pitched cries that resonated through the chamber. Cale's mind raced. He tried the usual techniques, soft cooing, gentle movements, speaking in calming tones, but nothing seemed to work. The infant's cries grew louder, and he felt a bead of sweat trace down his temple. Then he paused and remembered something he had learned in his childhood on Earth, a memory from when he had cared for his younger sister. It was instinctual, a human trait perhaps, simple and pure. He adjusted his posture, letting his presence be steady, exuding calm rather than trying to force control. He matched his breathing with what he could sense of the child's pulse, slow and rhythmic, and whispered softly in tones of compassion rather than instruction. The change was subtle at first. The baby's fingers loosened, its body relaxing against the queen's arms. Cale continued, speaking without words of persuasion, allowing silence and patience to carry the weight. Within moments that felt like hours, the cries ceased entirely. The infant blinked, observing him with unguarded curiosity, and then, unexpectedly, it reached toward him, leaning into his hands. Cale felt an unfamiliar swell of emotion. He had never experienced a moment like this, bridging species in the simplest yet most profound way. The queen's eyes softened, a flicker of relief and admiration crossing her features. "You have done what none of my advisors could," she said, her voice quiet now, almost intimate. "I promised you a bond if you succeeded, but I did not expect this." Cale stood slowly, holding the child gently, careful not to alarm it. The child, it only needed understanding, he said. Sometimes care is not about knowledge or skill, it is about presence, about patience. The queen nodded. "Indeed, humans, you carry a strength that is not measured in power alone." She extended her hand, the gesture formal yet tinged with warmth. "I offer you marriage as I promised. This is not a symbolic gesture alone, but a union recognized by my people. You have shown the qualities that our traditions value most: compassion, courage, and the ability to connect beyond barriers." Cale was speechless, not because he was ungrateful, but because he had never imagined that such a profound promise could be made in a moment born of simple care. I am honored," he managed at last. The days that followed were a whirlwind of preparation, explanation, and cultural immersion. Kale learned the rituals of the alien people, the ceremonies that marked union, and the responsibilities he would assume as a partner to the Queen. He observed their society, marveling at its harmony, its emphasis on connection and empathy, and its reverence for life in all forms. Yet even amid grandeur, his focus often returned to the baby, who had become both a symbol and a teacher. The infant, whom the Queen had named Lyra, developed a fascination with Kale. It followed his movements, babbling in the strange tones of its language and mimicking gestures. Kale found himself improvising ways to communicate, using gestures, expressions, and rhythm rather than words alone. Each success was small but profound, a laugh, a smile, a moment of shared recognition. He realized that in this alien world, human adaptability was a form of quiet strength, one that could bridge gaps no weapon or technology could. As the union ceremony approached, Kale was both nervous and exhilarated. The palace thrummed with anticipation, its halls adorned with luminescent blooms and crystalline structures that reflected every hue of the suns. Delegates from distant colonies arrived, bringing gifts and declarations, yet all attention seemed to center on the Queen, her child, and the human who had earned a place beside her. The ceremony itself was unlike anything Kale had seen. It was performed beneath a canopy of light that pulsed in harmony with the Queen's energy, each movement deliberate, each word a promise of commitment. Kale repeated the phrases and gestures as instructed, feeling the weight of their significance not just for him and the Queen, but for the relationship between their species. Lyra sat between them, clapping tiny hands and squealing in delight, an innocent witness to a union that would shape the future. When it concluded, the Queen looked at him, her gaze steady and unflinching. "You have not only proven yourself to me," she said, "but to all who doubted the potential of human beings. There is resilience, empathy, and ingenuity in your kind that cannot be measured by our instruments. You have reminded us that connection is the highest form of strength." Kale felt a surge of humility and pride. "I only followed what I could feel. Perhaps that is the human way. We adapt, we learn, and we care, even when the outcome is uncertain." In the months that followed, Kale and the Queen learned together, navigating their partnership, discovering the intricacies of governance, and fostering ties between their peoples. Kale's human perspective often provided insight in situations where alien reasoning alone would have faltered. The Queen, in turn, revealed the wisdom of her species, their understanding of harmony, energy, and life cycles that stretched beyond human comprehension. Yet, amid political duties and ceremonial obligations, it was Lyra who remained the living bridge. Each day spent with the child reinforced Kale's understanding that the simplest gestures, patience, kindness, attentiveness, could achieve what treaties and strategy could not. Lyra thrived, her laughter a constant reminder that empathy could transcend species, language, and culture. One evening, as the twin suns dipped below the horizon and cast long amber shadows across the palace gardens, Kale found himself sitting with Lyra and the Queen. The child leaned against him, humming softly, and the Queen traced delicate patterns across Lyra's hair. "You have changed everything here," the Queen said quietly. "Your presence has brought balance, not through force, but through care. I promised marriage if you could soothe my child, yet you have given far more than I could have imagined. You have given my people hope and my heart a companion." Kale looked at her, then at the child nestled between them. "I never expected anything beyond understanding," he said. "But it seems that sometimes understanding is the greatest gift of all." The Queen smiled, a warmth that transcended words. "Indeed, Kale, and it is a gift that will shape the future of our worlds." As night fell, the palace glowed with gentle luminescence, a testament to life, connection, and the bridge between two species. Kale felt the weight of responsibility, but also a profound sense of belonging. In the quiet hum of the palace, with the child resting safely and the Queen by his side, he realized that humans could achieve the extraordinary not through power or dominance, but through the quiet strength of care, understanding, and presence. For Kale, what had begun as a daunting challenge had transformed into a profound journey of discovery. He had learned that even in the vast expanse of the cosmos, where alien technology and unmatched power often seemed supreme, the human heart remained a force unparalleled. It could calm the restless, connect the distant, and inspire hope where none seemed possible. And in that moment, as he watched Lyra yawn and curl into the Queen's arms, Cale understood fully why he had been speechless when first